it's wrong. It's terribly wrong. And when the Prime Minister said, well, but I did it as Prime Minister and I hired Barrow and Williams, that's not true, man. And Isani, there were maybe a couple of occasions, as with the ICJ, where we needed counsel in a hurry to get to the, try to get to the Court of Appeal after Benjamin had said no to the referendum. But that was the exception. If, in the way as is happening now, I had been as Prime Minister, having the government retain Barrow and Williams to fight these cases, you in the media would have known. Can you remember one case for the government? You know how many cases are there now in which CourtenayCoye has appeared. This one, the Peyrefitte one, they're appearing in the Recological one, they're appearing in the Brads one. If that had happened when I was Prime Minister, you would have known it didn't happen. And that's why there was never any outcry about that. In terms of the government retaining the services of Dennis Barrow and Lois Young during the course of that epic saga, that epic nationalist struggle against the so-called alliance. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. These were attorneys who were extremely distinguished. In other words, they were hired on merit. And there was a case a long time ago when I was Attorney General of this country, when Barrow and Company, or Barrow and Stain it might have been at the time. Anyway, the firm with my brother was hired, and the PUP took it all the way to the Court of Appeal, and the Court of Appeal said, no, it's not his firm, it's not, he's a lawyer too, the Attorney General, and he has a firm, it's not his firm, it's his brother's firm. It's a firm that's, from what we know, a good firm, and the fees paid are not inflated, they're what is normal in a circle. There's nothing wrong with that. So the opposite, of course, is that if I had, as Attorney General, hired my own firm, there would have been something wrong with that. And there is now something completely wrong with what is happening in terms of having CourtenayCoye on retainer. Of course, the principals of CourtenayCoye have gone and gotten an exemption from the Governor General, which then means that they can suffer no legal consequences in terms of giving up their seats in the Senate. But Isani, what does that tell you? So they came into government with a predetermination that they would be giving, or that the government would be giving their law firm business to an extent where they needed to get an exemption to allow their firm to enter into these contracts routinely with government and collect money.